Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you the best possible subtitle editor that you can do in any editing software. First, I'm going to show you Premiere Pros, and I'm going to show you the difference between this subtitle editor and Premiere Pros. So right now we're in Premiere Pro. I'm going to go ahead and play a snippet. I edited this VSL for a client. It's about 19 minutes long. These are the subtitles that I eventually ended up using.
This is a great resource. You see, the biggest problems that people have in crypto are either one, they don't have a proven strategy or system that they follow. Two, they don't have enough time to figure everything out on their own. Or three, they don't have access to seasoned professionals who have actually done what they want and can guide them, telling them exactly what to do and also what to avoid.
So those are subtitles that I ended up coming with. In order to create a subtitle in Premiere Pro, what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna go to edit, text, and you're gonna create captions from transcript. And if you don't see them, then what you can do is you could go to window and down here at the bottom, select text. And I have mine checked, so I have that window going. So I'm gonna go ahead and create captions from transcript to show you the captions in Premiere Pro. Let's keep the defaults. I think I might make the maximum length a little bit longer just because these are going to end up being double lined. So let's make it 55 and let's go ahead and create captions. So it does it pretty fast, which is good. I will give it that for them, but I'm gonna kind of go over why this is hindering at the same time here in a bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply the same style in properties under track styles. I have a style already created. It's called VSL text. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you these subtitles.
This is a great resource. You see, the biggest problems that people have in crypto are either one, they don't have a proven strategy or system that they follow. Two, they don't have enough time to figure everything out on their own. Or three, they don't have access to seasoned professionals who have actually done what.
Okay, as you can see, there's just not a lot of continuity with these subtitles. The three is it's just a lot more structured. It's hard to describe. But also with this subtitle feature, you can see certain mistakes. If I go to the 218 mark here, 217 mark, if I play this sentence.
Thanks to crypto, I was able to buy ultra luxury real estate in downtown Miami, speak at conventions and
speaker conventions. He doesn't say speaker conventions. He says speak at conventions. And also Miami was supposed to have a comma and speaker's supposed to be lowercase. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the tool to make the captions that really stand out. Hey, real quick before I get into this next part, if you've enjoyed this video so far, I plan on creating more in the future. So please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything different that you would have done, please feel free to let me know. Now on to the rest of the tutorial. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to download Subtitle Edit. I'll provide this URL in the description. It's essentially a GitHub repository. What you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to download the executable. Double click it, install it. It's gonna install all the dependencies and all that you need to have for Subtitle Edit. Basically, this tool, you're not gonna need to be super tech savvy in order to run it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up Subtitle Edit, and I'm gonna open video file. And I'm actually gonna open the same file that we were looking at but exported. As you can see, it's up. It does change the color codec. It's a little washed out, but we don't really care about that. We just care about the voice and the subtitles. In order to subtitle this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to video and then audio, text to whisper. So when we're in this menu, you're not gonna see the same models here. What you're gonna need to do is download them, but the engine, you're gonna need to select OpenAI Faster-Whisper XXL. That will have every model that you need to essentially download in order to get this to work. So in order to download that, there's a lot of engines. You'll see all of them to download them essentially. All of them work pretty well. I will say the large one works better for short form. It makes great accuracy, but it also can kind of veer off course if the video is too long, so to speak. So I always thought it would be safe to pick medium, especially for a 19-minute video. I encourage you to try whatever you need to try. but Medium usually works pretty good with me, so I'll go ahead and download it. So I have the Medium English version downloaded. If you're using a different language, you should download probably that language. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do, and this is very important if you're using a GPU rather than just a processor, what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna click on Advanced, and under Extra Parameters for Whisper command line, if you're using a GPU, you're gonna need to type device CUDA processors. And what CUDA processors do is they're processors in the GPU. If you have a better description, just definitely leave in the comments, but they essentially help the CPU with sort of non-processive intense workloads, so there's not as much stress on the actual CPU, so the GPU essentially picks up its slack. So you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna also type standard, especially if you're gonna do captions for a long form video like that. Now I encourage you to go ahead and, read all of these different, essentially, flags, but for all you need to know, usually standard's pretty good, and the intention of this tutorial is just to kind of give you a baseline. You can go from there. So we're gonna go ahead and click OK, and then make sure to have auto adjust timings as well as use post-processing line merge fix casting punctuation. So we're gonna hit generate. I'm gonna fast forward the video to when this is done because it usually takes about a minute or two if you're using a GPU. If you're using just a CPU, it takes longer, but that's to be expected, but it will still work. So essentially what Subtitle Edit is doing, it's using OpenAI's Whisper XSL engine, and it's essentially machine learning. So this program is acting as an agent to talk to that AI. So their AI is analyzing this video and matching the captions with the voice. You don't necessarily need to use Subtitle Edit to do this, but it's a great graphical interface tool for someone that doesn't necessarily want to create their own script or use the command line. But it looks like we're finished. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but you're able to edit all these, which I'll get into, and it'll show you the subtitles at the bottom. That's not what it's gonna look like in Premiere Pro. I'll get into that, but
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but the easy days of investing into crypto where you could throw your money into any project and see it go up by hundreds of % are over. I'm sorry to say that if you didn't catch the 20...
Now it matches pretty well, and what we're gonna go ahead and do with the gap, because you're not gonna want to have these gaps in the subtitles, especially with a VSL.
I'm sorry to say that if you didn't catch the 2017 or 2021...
Like those gaps are very irritating, especially with you're trying to still read something or your user's trying to read something. You're not going to want to have those gaps with educational content, and that's a very common thing to be able to fix with one click in this tool. All you're going to have to do is you're going to go to Tools, and then you're going to go ahead and go to Bridge Gaps Between Subtitles. Make sure to have previous text takes all gap time, so that's going to extend it rather than say divide it, and that bridged the same gap that we saw. I'm gonna play it.
Are over. I'm sorry to say that if you didn't catch the 2017 or 2021 bull run, then you're gonna have a much harder time making serious money in crypto. But I most likely don't have to.
But yeah, that's pretty good. I can already see a couple just different mistakes. Like if I go to this line, my name is Lewis Raskin. His name is Lewis, but it's not spelled that way. And you could actually do Control F, and you could try to find where you think it might have said Lewis. It's good. It's good. Another common issue I saw when I did this before, there's a crypto that he talks about called Keeta, Keeta. It spelled it Keeta like that. So if we go and correct all those, we could do this in the tool before even going to Premiere Pro. So I'll copy that, and we can go to Find Next, copy, Find Next. It only did it twice, which is pretty good. So with that said, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna export this and bring in Premiere Pro. So all you gotta do really is save it as. We're gonna go to VSL, save it wherever you need to save it, just as long as you know where it is and you could retrieve it for Premiere Pro. Save that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Premiere Pro, which I still have it open. We're gonna close all the subtitles, so I'm not gonna have my final subtitles on, and I'm not gonna have my Premiere Pro subtitles on. And we're gonna actually click off of any subtitle channel at all, and we're gonna go to text, captions, import captions from file. We're gonna go ahead and grab that file, which it's right here. It's called Subtitle Edit Captions.srt. And we're gonna click open. We're gonna keep all the default options. So leave format as subtitle, style none, start point source timecode, and we're gonna click OK. We're gonna apply the style that we talked about earlier. So we're gonna highlight every single one of these captions. We're gonna apply the same style so it all matches. And so we don't get confused, we're gonna rename it Subtitle Edit Captions, if I could spell that right.
Are over. I'm sorry to say that if you didn't catch the 2017 or 2021 bull run, then you're gonna have a much harder time making serious money in crypto. But I most likely don't have to tell you this.
Now, there are certain parts of this where you might want to change some punctuation. There might be commas where periods are, or periods where commas are. But when it comes to spoken videos, the grammar is not always perfect because people don't speak naturally how you might read it. But the timing is immaculate compared to Premiere Pro's subtitles. Let me zoom in so you can kind of see. There's like a timing mismatch here, you know, like, and there's also a timing mismatch here. Let me just illustrate that.
But you're strapped on time.
It worked out because it was the beginning of the frame. Actually, it's not. It's before. It's even before the frame change. Now, these frame changes don't have to be perfect, but this is exactly where, and you can see in the wave that's where he says but
you're strapped on time.
And this is not.
But you're strapped on time.
It comes in a frame early. Same here. Same.
You're either busy running your business, giving your all at your job, or maybe even both.
Same here. A frame too early. And that's Premiere Pro's native subtitles. That's why using OpenAI's Faster-Whisper engine, it's really great, especially for VSLs, and actually especially for really anything. And there's like lots of things you could do. In fact, I even think that you can translate it. But yeah, there's also one other thing that machine learning did that Premiere Pro couldn't necessarily do. I think it's at 440. This is Premiere Pro. This is Premiere Pro's version.
How much would that have saved you? $20,000, $50,000, $100,000? I know people who have lost millions because they
$20,000, $50,000, $100,000 is what he said. Now, Faster-Whisper by OpenAI is able to know, based on the sense that he's saying, to put the dollar signs before 50,000 and 20,000, just based on kind of knowing what he's talking about. So this system's a lot smarter than Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro does a good job at like putting what it hears. Like he said dollar, so they put the dollar sign. That's good, but that's not good enough because you're gonna have to, or I'm gonna have to go in and edit and time those subtitles just right. And this saves, you know, a ton of time. But if there's anything different that you would do, if there's a tool that you like, definitely let me know in the comments and I'll be free to check those out. But I also tried rev.com and I put those subtitles in here. Now Rev is free only for the beginning. Probably they give you a certain amount of credits, but this tool is essentially 100% free. From my understanding, I don't think that you need to pay for ChatGPT Plus to do it. If I'm wrong, definitely leave me a note in the comments, but Subtitle Edit has not given me any sort of paywall, and there's even an auto translate feature, yeah, like what I was talking about earlier. But there's just a lot of different things that you could do with this tool, and it's a huge time saver with captions. especially auto-generated captions like Premiere Pro. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. If you liked what you saw, definitely leave a like, leave a comment. I'll respond to all of them. I plan on posting more content, especially content involving productivity, video editing, maybe even editing some motion graphics like what you saw in this video. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.